How many years were you in yeshiva? How old are you?
25. This week.
יש לי כזה משהו. זה של מישהו, לך להחליף איתו. שם זה בפיד, שם זה בגיף. סבבתי, שסרט, סייעתא דשמיא. So here, Reb Shimon Shkop, in his piece, he explains the whole piece here. If Chalipin mitam kesef and Chalipin mistam is two different things in one thing. Let's read a little bit. Siman Hey. The Mute Chalipin. The Prime. סנהדרין כוכב אחד, שוטנצי, לקחת מהבית? באיזה צ'אנס? כתמור, הבנתי, אתמול רציתי ללמוד, לא היה לי. חיפשתי לכל הבית, אמרת חייבת.
לילה אחד בטח לא יש לנו שם, אתה רואה בדיוק בלילה. אתה משתמש בזה בלילות כאילו?
מנסה, אני בדרך כלל משתמש בשני, בזה.
אני בדרך כלל, יש לי אחד.
אבל אתמול
רציתי... איבדתי את שלי.
כמו בגלל שהטלפון שלי לא מצאתי אותו, אמרתי אני אשתמש בגמרא כזאת, חיפשתי, לא מצאתי. קיצור.
כבר בבית על השולחן.
שיערתי, אמרתי, רואה תורה, שהיא מן הקרוץ, שבת או משהו. בסדר, ברוך השם.
Good morning. Where are you reading?
I'm reading Reb Shimon Shkop.
It's on the sheets. What page?
No, it's not in the sheets. It's not in the sheets. We printed out to the people. The Shimon Shkop is a whole siman. We just read one piece in the sheets. And the sheets is just the pivotal point. We decided to read a little bit more inside. That gives them a broader picture of what is he speaking about. Do you have a Shimon Shkop book in your house? Rabbi Yosef.
Yes, I do, but I can't. It's hard to find.
Okay, so how are you going to get this, Rabbi Shimon? Send him to now. Okay.
You can send him the Shimon Shkop?
Rabbi Yosef. Yosef Pornak.
Put it on the chat.
Who else is there?
Roland, put it on the chat. He put it on
Yeah, I
the
was going to
chat.
put on the chat. This is a Rabuven. I'm happy to hear your voice.
Thank you.
How do you feel?
Baruch Hashem, right now I'm preparing to get chemo.
Wow.
I'm in the hospital watching you.
Wow, so you're able to learn Torah even in the hospital. You know,
That's
the
where you
Rebbe
gotta
bless his
learn it.
memory.
You
My
have to
father
do
bless his
Shemaya.
memory. He had Chavrusa, even in the hospital. He had Rabbi Sackton, others learned with him in the hospital. That will give strength to a person. Okay, so for Shleimer. No problem. Okay. What? I understand what you're saying. The Yotza of the Rambam, okay. We're shleim with it. The schus, everyone. Okay. So I'm reading now the Rav Shimon Shkop. למיעוט החליפין, משום דחליפין נסתאי פה שם בפרוטו, ואיש שברור נעודו למכאן לנפשו, ומפרשי התויסבס, משום דחליפין כן אחר. Toys explains Chalipin is another kinyan. ואיש הנגנס רק בכסף, and a woman is only being acquired in money, not another kinyan. ולא גרסינו למכאן לנפשו. We don't goyres למכאן, just למכאן. והנה צורך לברר. So now Rabbi Shimon says, we need to explain ההבדל בין חליפין לכסף, the difference between חליפין and כסף. דזה רוחוק לא יאמר. This is far away to say, that תלוי בכוונת הדין, depends on the intention of the law, איזה שם לא זה בדין.
Shem, this is Shem.
Which name you give, it depends on the kavona of the din, which shame you gave to this and the din. He says no. There's the opposite. The law depends if there is some kind of a change in the intention of the giving and the merit. Aval, but in kavona sanesino achasi, but if the intention of the giving is one, so then lo yishai chiluk bedin doesn't apply any chiluk in the law. V'ine, behold, nire looks like a inyan. The subject is the beteras domim hu. What does it mean? I'm giving the beteras domim. It is sha'echod u dover anikno. It's one thing you want to acquire, the adomim and the money, emimtsoy their intermediary, shal yodom koini maschoiro, through them you buy the merchandise and imker has been sold. The arele Rabbi Yochanan, behold, sorry, according to Rabbi Yochanan, bar toiro, betatelim davka bekesef. According to Rabbi Yochanan, to buy movable things from the Torah is only in money. Which means, if the buyer pulled the object before he gave the money, he doesn't acquire the movable things. What requires the movable things is only money according to the Torah. But the opposite. Turn the page. If he gives the money, to the seller, coin a tchilia, buys right away. First, the buyer acquires the money, and the yad through the kinyan of yad or agbo or lifting. Before he gives the price to the buyer, right away he acquires the money. For who it is, the money. Then the chayfetz. For who it is. The lo'ilam always en adam moicher v'koine kesef. Always a person doesn't sell or acquire money. Just the merchandise. It is. This is the something that's being sold. Vanika is being bought. Shebavu, that for her, for the sake of the merchandise, the buyer and the seller are coming. Lasso says they can do business. So Rabbi Yochanan holds. The mechira by selling and buying movable things, it needs to be specifically through money. That the money the money is the thing that acquires the merchandise. So according to Rabbi Yochanan, what buys and sells, but the money is only a mtsoi, and the money is only intermediary. That through the money, but what really we buying and selling? We buying and selling the merchandise, and the money is an emtsoi. So let's say the buyer pulled the schoiro, the merchandise, before he gave the money. It's nothing. If he gave the money and the buyer picked up the money in kinyan yad or agbo, he's coining the money even before he gave a price to the object. Then when he gives the price around it, then the object is being sold. But the money is emtsoy, really what they're buying and selling is only the merchandise. Same way opposite. The Resh Lakish, according to Resh Lakish. The beginning, a person needs to pull the merchandise of the Torah. Not the money. If somebody wants opposite, first he wants the money, then the object. A kavone, his intention means I transfer his intention. He wants to make the merchandise money, the money to the merchandise. Again, according to Resh Lakish, the buying and selling of movable things is meshicha. And the money is not what it buys and sells. The meshicha that is the one that is buying and selling. And if a person wants opposite, he first earns the money. It means that he wants to make the merchandise money, and the money wants to make merchandise. So really, we buy and selling the money. It says botlo daitis kolodom. His das is botel. We don't follow him. The buying and selling is the merchandise. The money is an emtsoi, but really the real emtsoi is meshicha. Okay. This is what we learned in the beginning of the 4th chapter in Momentsia. Azov koines hakesef. What does it mean? The gold buys the silver. It's not possible for a person to turn over fruit to money and money to fruit. No, you buy and sell fruit through the emtsoi of money. And since the gold is the fruit and the silver is the money, so then what happens? The gold, which is the fruit, can acquire the money. Is that possible? Not possible. The fruits will buy the money. The person, that's exactly what it says. A man buys movable things, with value of money like fruits. Ostoli bekavanosam depends on the intention. Now, gold is fruit. Gold is not money. So I want to buy money. I don't buy gold. So gold, it's like shve kesef. I want to buy with shve kesef. I want to buy the money. If a person wants to buy movable things with the value of silver, of money, ostoli bekavanosam depends on the intention. If the seller of the object makpid ala chayfetz is makpid on the chayfetz shelo yikeach of the buyer. Again, the seller wants to sell the object. So now I'm buying an object with an object. So if the seller of the object is makpid, and he wants the only payment he's willing to have is the object of the buyer, doesn't want any other payment, only for his donkey he wants the buyer's cow. That's the only thing he wants. And the other one, and the receiver is not makpid on the body of the object that he receives from the seller. But then this, we understand which is in this is the merchandise, and which is the things that you pay off, and you buy the merchandise. And if both of them are careful, an object, this is the beginning when kicks in Chalipin. Stop. You're transferring object with an object. So let's go over this. This is very important. He's saying when the merchandise is really the thing. So really we buying and selling merchandise. I can buy through a emtsoi of money. Money makes that money the emtsoi. and when the buyer picks up the money and he buys a kinyan yad argbo, then he's makne the chayfetz. Same thing opposite according to Rish Lakish. According to Rish Lakish, what you buy and sell is the merchandise, but how do you buy it? Through pulling, and the money is not there. It's just the pulling is a tanai. But really, what makes the kinyan is the pulling, the meshicha, and not the money. And if a person wants the money, he says, I want the money. So for me, the money is the seller says, for me, the money is the merchandise. We don't care. It's botlo daito. Because the object is the merchandise and the money is an emtsoi, or you don't need it. And you buy that merchandise with pulling, with meshicha. I want the money, I don't care about meshicha. It's great, but it's not the merchandise. The money is not the merchandise. The money is the emtsoi to buy the merchandise, and really you don't use this emtsoi, you use the meshicha as an emtsoi. And the money is just what you want personally, but doesn't change the structure that the merchandise is what we buy and selling. That's what it says. Azov koines hakesef, hakesef azov. Zov, which is fruit, shve kesef is koine the kesef, but kesef is not koine the zov. Why kesef is not koine the zov? Because kesef is money. According to Rish Lakish, we do meshicha. So kesef is not koine the zov. The meshicha is koine the zov. Kesef is not koine the zov. If you want to make the kesef as the emtsoi, as the goal in the schoiro, but lo daito. It's not possible to a person to turn over fruit to kesef. Fruit becomes like the goal, and the kesef to fruit. Can't turn the kesef to become a fruit. That's your merchandise. So if a person buys movable things with value of money, so it depends on the kavanah. If the seller of the object makpid on the object, he doesn't want any other domim, and the buyer is not makpid on the chayv that he receives, so then what? What is the money? What is our merchandise? Since the seller is makpid on the chayv that it's a payment, and the buyer wants only he does not makpid on the etzem chayv that he received from the seller. So then we understand what is the schoira? The schoira is what the buyer is giving the seller. What? The guy that sells, he cares what he's receiving, but the guy is buying, he doesn't care what he's buying. So now we say it's the opposite. It's against the seichel, it's against the whole point. So then opposite, then the merchandise turns to the money, the merchandise. Then you can flop it. But really, the normal way is the buyer wants the seller's merchandise. And then there's an emtsoi to do pay money or now meshicha, all that. But so that makes the merchandise is what you buy and sell. We came here for. Yes. Storage.
And they don't know what is inside. And they pay a lot of money. They go like goes high. It's a gamble. And then you can find inside. They don't know what is inside. Then the police open. Not the police. Whatever. This storage that people didn't pay or something like that. Or they found it and it's closed. Nobody knows what is there. So it can go like maybe you lost money. Because they pay, let's say, $3,000 or $10,000, and they found something with $2,000. That's the word. Never goes by. Or sometimes they find like $200,000. Or merchandise inside. So that's a case that you're paying something that you don't know what you're buying.
But he says, but what happened if both of them are makpid on objects? That's Chalipin. Again, the difference in Chalipin and Kesef is that normal buying and selling is that the merchandise is the factor, right? Then Meshicha or Kesef is emtsoi to get to it. But really, the tachlis is the merchandise. It says one merchandise and one kinyan could be kesef or could be meshicha. And even the person who wants the kesef to be the main is off. But on the main thing is the merchandise. But if both of them want the object, they're swapping object against object, and both of them wanting it, that's Chalipin. If both of them are makbid and the chafotzim, they're swapping. Zeu reshis inyan Chalipin. Shemachlit chayvetz bechayvetz. B'chay gavno, in such a case, lo yishayich pluksas Rabbi Shlokish. The argument of Rabbi Shlokish from the Torah is kesef or Mashiach doesn't apply in Chalipin. Verak and only if one pulls the object, the other one acquires right away. Right? Because Chalipin, everything is emtsoi. It's not you have an emtsoi and you have a tachlis. So then I need to give them emtsoi, do the emtsoi and get the tachlis. I'm not going to give you the tachlis for the emtsoi. But when both of them are the tachlis, so when somebody pulls the one thing, the other one is right away coining, because that's the tachlis of both. So both are the tachlis. So then when you pull one, right away the other one is coining or whatever it is. And you don't need any kesef and any other mashiach for the other object. Again, when the tachlis is the merchandise, so until you don't pull the merchandise, there's nothing. Or until you didn't finish to pay them, so there's nothing. But when both of them are tachlis, both object, the buyer and the seller, both sides wants the other one's object, the dafka. That's Chalipin. And you coin of a Mashiach of one, the other without money or without pulling the other side. והנה לרבינו תם. הובו דבורו בתייסס בו מציע דף מבוא ודיבור המתחיל, פרא. רבינו תם בו מציע page 46, דבו תחיל פרא wrote. חליפין כזה הוא עניין אחר מקניין סודו. Such a חליפין חפץ בחפץ, רבינו תם says, it's another subject from kinyan sudo. Why? It's called a geula v'atmura. He says tmura, the mitmura, from the word agula v'tmura, yalfin chalipin, because we learned such a chalipin. It's called mecher. I'm training object for an object. That's one type of chalipin. Ulmerkaim kol dover, from the word ulmerkaim kol dover by Ruth, who it is, we learned the alfina, we learn out kinyan sudo, the acquisition of sudo. Sheino makpid al shovir shel sudo. You're not makpid on the value of the sudo. V'urak lekayim is only to establish kinyan achevetz anikna. It's only to establish the acquisition of the object that you buy. Again, so we have two types of chalipin. One chalipin is training one object with the other, and everybody's makpid on the chefetz. So in the minute you pull one, the other one is koine. And there's kinyan sudo, that then when I pull the sudo, is mekayim the kinyan. And even though you're not makpid on the value of sudo, but the sudo is just a mekayim to acquire the object that we want to acquire. The it's in page Reish Chov Gimel. והנה נראה. תראה לרב שכבתם, תראה לרב נכון, סגר אנחנו עושים. והנה נראה. Here behold looks like. The Lashitas Toisves, Shekosvu, Toisves Shida the rope. The Isho Eno Nicholas Hag Bekeset, that a woman does not get acquired only with money. Loi Mehani Shum Chalipin Beisho. Any Chalipin doesn't work by a woman. The two types. Av Shemakpedel Ashovi Achefetz. even when they trade a chayfetz b'chayfetz, and she's makpid on the value of the chayfetz, even if it's makpid on the value of the chayfetz. In such a case, when she's makpid on the value of the chayfetz she's receiving, sudo means I receive sudo, I don't care. The buyer, which is the husband, is giving the sudo, and moich is not makpid on the value of the sudo. Like here, the husband is giving the sudo to the woman, which is the buyer gives the sudo to the woman, which is a seller, and she's not makpid on the value of the sudo. That's called kinyan sudo. But when she is makpid on the value of the chayfetz, should be like chayfetz and chayfetz. There, what's it between money and chalipin? There's no, it's hard to make a chiluk. Why? Even when the woman is makrit specifically on the object she received, she's not happy with any other money, any other value. It helps if the intention was in teras kesef. According to this, what change there is, it's only the name. That's the point. Again, until now we polarize between kesef and chalipin. Kesef, you have the schoil, the merchandise. Sorry. The king and kesef is want to buy and sell a merchandise. And the kesef is emtsoi. It could be meshicha or kesef, which is emtsoi. Chalipin is that both objects are makpid. The buyer and the seller are makpid in a trade on both objects. That's one type, that's chalipin. And there's another chalipin, it's called milakayim called dovo, which is sudo, that what? That even though the buyer, the seller, even though the seller is not makpid on what he received and the value of the sudo, and the sudo is only there to mekayim the kinyan that the object wants to sell, that's called lekayim kol dovo. Here, the woman, she's makpid on the value of the object. So it's not a kinyan sudo lekayim kol dovo that the seller is not makpid on the sudo. Here, the woman is makpid on the sudo. She's makpid on what she's getting. She doesn't want to get less than Shabbat Puto. She wants to get a suda that's worth a puta. So then,
maybe a whole bucket full of gold.
Whatever it is, but she's makbid on what she receives. She knows what she doesn't want. She's makbid what it shouldn't be. Shouldn't be less than Shabbat Puto. Okay. So now she's makbid, it shouldn't be less than Shabbat Puto. So then she's makbid on the object that she's getting. She's careful what she's getting. So it's not just, again, so we have two types of chalipin. An object gets an object, which everybody's makbid on everything. And you have sudo, 1 second, we have a sudo that the woman, which is the seller, is not makbid on the sudo. And here we have a sudo, the woman is makbid. Because she doesn't want less than Shomer Pruta. What? So it becomes, she's chayvetz b'chayvetz. So it says, what's the difference between chalipin and money? It's only shayla of shame. Shame, what? Oh, so what is the chiluk? That's his problem. That's his problem. What do you want to say, Reb Chaim? Right. But when you mark them, what you receive, Pashas, that's what you want. When you receive, you don't want should be less Shabbat Pruta means you want what you receive to be in a positive way, worth Pruta, not less. I don't want to be less, if I don't want the object that I receive to be less than Shava Puta, I want it to be valued a Puta. So I'm makpid to be, I want it to be in a certain way, not in a certain way, other way. That's called, I want it to have kavanah. I know, but once the woman wants the Chalipin to be worth something, and she doesn't want any less than Shava Puta, so then she's makpid on the chayfetz. Makpid on the chayfetz, so it could be really. The Shavios. Yes, the Shavios. That's called makpid on the chayfetz. Makpid on the Shavios. It's not the full scope of an object, but it's part of the object, part of the bechinas of the object is value. It's makpid on the value. I know you men in ikanto, I don't know what's ikanto for. But I want is one bechina. Certain bechina of the object is this value. She wants the value to be A, not B. I know that. I know it's possible. No, but after became, there's a bechina that she's makpid on this object should be a certain way, not any other way. So that's similar to kesef. Kesef is what? Let's see what he says. What? It's hard to say that the word the chiluk between kesef and chalipin is just a shame, and not something internal in the mechanics, the way it works. That's what he says. It's hard.
But we say that there is a difference between market and the chefs, even though that is a reference.
Yeah, what's the difference?
Money can buy everything instantly, and the happens no.
Right. Yeah, but in the kinyan kesef, what makes it kinyan chalipin kinyan kesef? That's the problem. ולכאורה יומוקום לא יאמר, לאמור, דאיקה בין חליפין לכסף עניין דין חיוב, ובכסף מכיוון שמקבל המויכס הכסף, עניין נסחי בתמורס הכסף. וזה יקר דין כסף, מה שהכסף גויים חיוב, די קבלוסוי. נסחי בתמורס כסף. כסף creates an obligation to give it tomorrow. What?
Because we want to refer to how it makes a kinyan.
Right. How does it make a kinyan? Kesef and chalipin. Right. Exactly. Okay, so we want to know what is the chiluk. He says, first of all, kesef means when you give kesef and when you buy with kesef, the kesef creates a chiyuv to give me a tamur, to give me an exchange. That's the main din of kesef. I'm giving you kesef. It causes an obligation. When you receive it, you're obligated to give me an exchange for that money. And that's what is כמו שאמרנו זה כבר לא הכריח מגבור וקם בפרק המרובה. דברינו שם. He brings, there's such a concept called kesef achoizer. דף עין, דברינו שם כמן דיבותו לבדין כמון לא מחייב. שום כלום לרב מיני, מחיר נע מלאו מחיר. When somebody steals, and on Shabbos, he's not mechayev when he steals, because this kimler Ramamina he cut the fruit out of the tree, and he stole at the same time. So when he cuts the fruit out of the tree, he's obligated death, but he also stole the money. The money needs to give back the money. So the money doesn't create a chiyuv. So kimler Ramamina mechir na melav mechir. ואף דמה דקין רמן אינו מגרע מסחוס הכסף שלנו, he said. Even though the king Rambam they deserve death, it doesn't push away from the merit, the rights of the money shel anoisin of the giver. Ubelo akno asbar lateini, without the acquisition of the owner of the dates, the ganav will not zoiche potential lekeach of the dates of the buyer. The gabi gazlan mamash, or a real gazlan. A roitze ligzo, one wants to rob. Maskim moros identifying base. The amrim madom kani. We don't say he kim lerabba meaning he acquires the money. Kolechesh agzele bein when exile doesn't exist. Umikol sheken imenu mechavel ligzo. Also no intention to steal. Then it's chai b'onsim. It's not obligated b'onsim. The Ozgam Lerablo Yishach Shiskavan Chosu Shalachem. This we have to see the Raya. I'm jumping down 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. You should learn the Raya. It's a very important, very famous Raya. We learned it many times. But it's not what I want to do now. You have to explain the whole Gemara. But Lefize, already 10, 16. But Lefize, Ikar Ayesoy, that's the most important. The main foundation, Bekinyam Kesef, an acquisition of money, who it is. Shaledea kesef, through the money, is chayav hamoicher, the seller obligates himself, avu zeh, for the sake of the money received, laashli mekho, to complete his selling. Valedei zeh, through this, me'ani held, mashagomer bedaito, what he concludes in his mind, laaknois adovo, to acquire this, the object, the merchandise, shagomer b'nei matchila, that they decided between them in the beginning. Again, when I receive the money, then that creates an obligation. It's called kesef achoizer, chiyuv, an obligation, and that chiyuv obligates me to finish the selling, the merchandise, where we agreed before to buy and sell. This is the subject. That's why first you give the money. The lekedin chiyuv. Before you receive the money, there's no obligation. No, it doesn't help me to give you my object. But after I receive the money, then I can give it to you because I have a chiyuv. I have a law of chiyuv. So what makes the acquisition is I received money. It creates an obligation to give a return. And that obligation to give a return makes the acquisition to give the return of what we agreed to buy and sell. Oh, so what about Chalipin? This is the famous words of Rabbi Shimon Shkop, and this is everywhere. Rabbi Shimon uses svara in many places, in Bobekam, and by Gzeile, and by the Kinyan Kezer. It's everywhere. It's a very famous Yesoid. What?
What is this?
Shimon Shkop. And I jumped the main raya. This is a famous raya of Rabbi Shimon. We have to go over it. But I don't want to do it right this second, because I want to get the idea first. To wrap the idea, and then we can go to the raya. There was a place that said the Chalipin, by Chalipin, and so I don't need this whole ischayvus kesef achoizer, this din chiyuv to create something. And so inyan zesh ischayv avu asud. You don't need that when you give me a sudo, creates an obligation to give something back, and that creates the kinyan. No. And so inyan ischayv avu asud shemekabel elo begufo umakne. Rather, he just makne by himself. Ainu, which means sheba'arvu achayfetz, for the sake of the object shekiba that I received, umakne, I makne the object as a return, but not as a return. When you give me, I do for you. Velo mishum, and not because it is chayvu acheres, not because I received an object that obligates me for the sake of that object, and therefore I makne that one makne the chayfetz. No, it's just a direct. There's no ischai, rather it's being done right away. When I'm pulling the sudo, right away I makne the thing, that the merchandise, the other object. That's why it works even less. There's no chiyuv in between. Which means when I pull the what's Sefer Torah? Where is it? Where? When I pull the object, that what makes the kinyan for the other thing. Which means it's like a Maisa Meshicha. I'm pulling the Sudor, that pulling is koine the other object, the exchange. But not when I pull the Sudor creates a chiyuv, and that chiyuv creates the kinyan. If it creates a chiyuv, so I need to know the value of the chiyuv. How much that pseudo creates a chiyuv of how much? But the answer is no. The meshicha of the Chalipin, that's the Maisa Kinyan to Mekayim, the selling of the object. There's no chiyuv, that chiyuv of money, obligation to give me an exchange, and that no. That is the Maisa Kinyan, like a meshicha. Meshicha is the object itself. Here, I'm pulling another object, and I'm pulling another object, makes the kiyum of the other object right away. Direct. What? Kesef, no. When you give me money, according to Rabbi Yochanan, Kesef Koine, when you give money, it's not that the Maisa Meshicha of the money acquires the object. No. You give money, I got now more money, now I'm worth more. So now I can't be worth more for free. I have to give a return. I just can receive more money. I have to give something as return. So in return, I give you the merchandise. But there's in between that the money creates me a chiyuv to give back because I got more money. But my meshicha or agbor or chalipin is the ma'isa meshicha is coin right away direct the other object. That's a very good, and he proves it from Gneza by killing Rabbi. You have to learn the raya. This is a very famous Reb Shimon Shkop, and he had a very big talmid. Reb Shimon Shkop had a big talmid. His name was Reb Shmuel Rozovsky. Reb Shmuel Rozovsky was Rosh Yeshiva of Ponovich. When I was a young boy, he was still alive. I don't know, maybe he was sick. But he was the biggest Rosh Yeshiva in Eretz Yisrael. That all the Rosh Yeshivas today in Eretz Yisrael, most Rosh Yeshivas had the talmidim of Reb Shimon Shkop. Rosh Shmuel Rozovsky was the talmid of Shimon Shkop, and this is one of the most famous Kiddushin of his whole life. It's Kesef HaChoyza. You should know that. Yes, yeah. Kesef HaChoyza, yes. And the Kesef creates a chiyuv, and the chiyuv makes the kinyan. You have something in between. It works through a middle stage.
But he is no,
Chalipin no, it's direct. There's no middle stage. And because of the middle stage, can have kin rabamine, there's all chiluki. That's his famous yesod. However, so you have to remember this. If you don't know this, you're missing in the fundamentals of Yeshiva Bocher. You don't know this famous Reb Shimon Shkop. However, but Toisvis, the Perek Meruba Sham Muchoch. Toisvis in Masechet Bo Bekam is Muchoch. The Gam Bechalipin Loi Mehani. Even Bechalipin doesn't work. Im Loi Mischai Bashov Zachevetz. Even Bechalipin, first you're obligated to give back the object I received, and that creates the chiyuv, like money. Chalipin is the same. V'ayin Toisvis Shalom Matchil Bo Imer Lo Yakoitz. The Mavur Shal Naman Omar Pego Yisav the Chalipin, or Mispar Reshev Kushat Toisvis you won't show. Okay. But La'anius Daiti Be'emes Yeshlam Nam Chalipin Sheich Lo Dun Din Chiyuv. You want to say that also by money, also by Chalipin, there's a middle stage of chiyuv, and therefore Kesef and Chalipin are the same. But we have to stop here, it's really late. People have to see, yes. Okay, have to see that. That's why Toisus wants to make the two things together. And Chalipin and Kesef are the same. Or it's a Kinyanach is not the same. That's really the subject. Toisus in the Havamina says Chalipin and Kesef is the same. The Maskona is Chalipin is Kinyanach, right? So you want to say that the svara to make it together or not together is the inside structure how Kesef and Chalipin work. So until now we polarized Chalipin and Kesef. They want to say no, Chalipin and Kesef is the same or not the same. That's a whole piece. Okay, internal how the machinery works inside. Rabbi Hanania ben Akash shoy merotz HaKadosh Baruch Hu l'zak Yisrael l'fik hakim utem shulchan b'tzamat shekol. Takil toiro v'yad. Deu niskadei shemei rabo. Yom modu roch Husei v'yamlich al Husei. Hayechon v'mechon v'mechon beis Yisrael. Ba'agoloi ma'achon v'momer.